Have you ever experienced a small act of kindness that completely changed your day or even your perspective? Today, I'll share a story that reminds us how even the simplest gestures can lift us up, inspire gratitude, and show that none of us have to face life's challenges alone.
Welcome to the Live Right Now podcast with me, Allan. This is where mindfulness meets everyday life. Thanks for joining me for this reflection on living with intention. Let's talk about how we can live right now.
Hello, beautiful souls. This is Allan, and welcome to Live Right Now. Today, I want to talk about unexpected kindness and how it can change everything in a single moment. I bet you've probably heard the saying, be kind because you never know what someone else is going through, right? Well, recently, that phrase kind of hit home for me in a way that I didn't expect. Over the last month or so, I've shared a bit about some challenges that have been put before me: the death of my dad, mass firings at work affecting many of my friends, and the loss of my own job. Through it all, I've managed to stay surprisingly positive. But as anyone who's gone through these sorts of difficulties knows, it's never easy. Well, this week, something small happened to me that reminded me why kindness matters so much and how one unexpected moment can change everything. So here's what happened. I realized I needed to use my vision benefits before I lost them. I hadn't been to the eye doctor in nearly 2 years, so I scheduled an appointment and went in for an exam. Everything seemed okay until it wasn't. It turns out the place I went to didn't take my insurance, but I went anyway because they had a discount package that I thought I could maybe save some money with. Exam plus 2 pairs of glasses for one set price. Sounds pretty good, right? I thought, all right, that's manageable. I expected it to include the bottom tier of products available, and I found 2 pairs I liked. Was feeling okay about it. But then we got to pricing the lenses and adding all the things that I needed. And the price jumped to a whole lot more than I expected, like 3 times more than the package price. I did expect a little bit of an upcharge, sure, but that was a lot. I felt my chest tighten. I needed these glasses. I really did. But I can't afford that right now. So we went back and forth trying to figure out what I really needed versus what I could let go. But even after cutting things down, it was still going to be more than I can afford. And to make it worse, the guy helping me seemed to be in a hurry to get out. Apparently had a plans or a party or something he needed to get to. I don't know. Anyway, he didn't seem to be there to really help. I could feel the pressure building. I was getting stressed. My wife was getting stressed. And I started to wonder if I'd have to just walk away empty-handed. And then, out of nowhere, the manager steps in. She takes over checking us out for the guy who, didn't really want to be there. We explained why things were a little tense for us, and she doesn't say that much at first. She just looks at the total, looks at us, then hands both me and my wife a 50% off coupon, just like that. All of a sudden, the cost of the glasses I needed went from prohibitively high to less than I expected to spend when I walked in the door. That instant, I just stopped. I couldn't know what to say. I could feel tension just fade away, and I thought, she didn't really have to do that. That moment, that act of kindness, it stopped me in my tracks, and it took me all the way back to high school to another act of kindness that changed my life. You see, when I was in high school, our science club was doing their annual radiothon. They did these sort of things back, in the good old days. The seniors got to take a shift on the local radio station, and my friends and I, we got a slot. I'm sure that happened on that day was fun, sure, but what I remember most is something that I saw on the station bulletin board. There was a handwritten card pinned up there, and the note said, "Thank you for the tickets to Holiday World. My family and I had a wonderful time. If it weren't for these tickets, we wouldn't have had a vacation this year. This means so much to us." I stood there for a second reading that card, and I remember thinking, somebody I'll never meet had their whole year changed by something as simple as a ticket giveaway. Years later, when I was looking to change my major in college, I remembered that card. I remembered the impact that a simple act had on a family I didn't know. And I realized that the media, when used with intention, can profoundly affect people when they need it the most. And I realized that what I wanted to do with my life. So, finished college at Butler University, go Dogs, with a degree in radio and television. And I've spent my entire career since then using the power of the media for good to connect people, to lift people up, to remind them that they're not alone. But here's the thing. This week, I wasn't the one doing the lifting. I was the one who needed it. And that manager, she saw someone who needed help, and she helped. There's a Bible verse that really brings this point home for me. It's Galatians chapter 6, verse 2. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ. Now, that manager didn't need to carry my whole burden that day, but she lightened it. And in that moment, it was enough. It reminded me that kindness, whether it's a ticket to an amusement park, a discount coupon for glasses, or just a moment of grace, can change someone's entire day, maybe even their entire year. So I want to ask you to take a moment and consider this. Who in your life might be carrying more than you realize? Maybe it's someone at work. Maybe it's a neighbor. Maybe it's the person in line behind you at the store who looks just a little too tired, a little too worn. You don't need to know their whole story. You don't need to fix everything. You just need to show up with a little bit of kindness, a little grace, a little lightness. For me, I think the point is this. I want to keep being the person who lifts others up because I know what it feels like to receive that kindness, to let it in, and to be grateful for it. And if you're the one who needs that kindness today, I want you to hear this. You are seen. You're not alone. You are held by love, even when you don't see it coming. Whatever today brings, remember, look for the kindness around you and offer it freely. Show yourself some grace when the weight feels heavy, and trust that help can come from the most unexpected places. Sometimes when you least expect it, kindness finds you, right when you need it most. Remember, there is no other time, only now. And right now, you are not alone. So, until next time, make the most of every moment. And remember to live right now.
Thanks for being part of Live Right Now. If you like what you've heard, I encourage you to like and follow the podcast on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and share it with someone who could use a little inspiration today. Join the conversation on our Facebook page or email me your thoughts at the address in the show notes. I'm Allan Haw. Until next time, make the most of every moment and remember to live right now.